Hey y'all, welcome back to Molly Cole Creations. This is Amanda. We are working on some Christmas DIYs today. We're working on a tiered tray and some of these reindeer ornaments. We are using all kinds of mediums to get to this: a chalk paste, chalk couture, our CRICUT, a little bit of IOD transfer. We are using all the things. A lot of this is done with scrap wood. I am excited to be joining the open playlist for What Would You Make this month. Our hosts are Connie's Woodshop and DIYs with Brenda at Rustic and Lace DIY, and their guest host this month is Craft Away with May. Now, we are getting started with these blocks. I cut them down from I want to say it was a 1x2. They actually measure 1.5 by 6, so I cut them in 6 inches, and they were dirty. They have been outside. I don't even remember what I cut them for originally, but they happen to just be the absolute perfect size for what I wanted to do. I'm using, as I showed you, the Waverly, it's called Snow White chalk paint, and the Waverly, no, I'm sorry, it is a Full Cart in Imperial. And I'm going to paint all but one in the white, and then I'm going to paint the last one in the red. And these do take a couple of coats. This wood is pretty rough. I did have to clean it. As you saw, I did have to sand it a little bit too. I'm setting this video up a little bit differently than I normally do, where I'm going to show you that I just base coat everything first. Now, this is a tiered tray that I purchased from Target, I want to say last year. I take that back. That was actually 2 years ago. As you can see, there are some screws that I could have unscrewed these bases, but I didn't want to. So I'm just painting the tops of both tiers, and I'm leaving the sides of each tray that natural wood color. I actually really liked it, and I also just didn't want to go to the trouble of unscrewing it and screwing it back in. So I am using the same Waverly chalk paint in the Snow White, and this is pretty smooth wood. I don't know why I've had this sitting around for 2 years and never did anything with it, but I am glad that I have it now, because it worked out for what I planned to do with it perfectly. I do have a lot of editing issues in this video, as far as running out of memory or battery shutting off without my knowledge, or just distractions, I guess. But I am doing my best here, and there are some things that you'll see me start and not completely finish, or vice versa, because of the memory issue. This is just another piece of scrap wood, and I have put the measurements up for you. This was I bought a big pack of these tags. I bought them from Amazon. I'm actually planning to make maybe some ornaments or gift tags with them. They're just a really good price, cheaper than I could even cut them myself. But I wanted this one to have those angled corners there, so I'm using some miter shears. One side was really easy to cut, and the other one wasn't as easy. I don't know why that is, or what, maybe my shears are dull or something, I don't know. But anyhow, we turned that to a 45-degree angle. I just kind of measured the best I could to the middle and got that cut. And this is also going to get painted in white. We're using very few colors here. And I don't paint the back of this tag because I don't intend to do anything with it, and it also matches the color wood, the grain of wood that is on the sides of those trays on the tiered tray. Now we're going to do a little faux rolling pin. This is just a dowel I had cut down. This is how I typically make my rolling pins, are with dowels, unless I happen to be like at Hobby Lobby and find one, or Hobby Lobby sells those packs. So every now and then I can grab them if I'm out and about. That red frame and white square above me was something I was thinking about using but never ended up doing anything with. Okay, we are going to use, this is CRICUT, and I am new to CRICUT, but I am loving it so far, and I am one, my creativity kind of just works in different ways than some, I guess. You know, some people don't like to use all these different things. They don't like the CRICUT or the stencils or stickers or, you know, what have you. I have a lot of kids. I work outside the home. I don't have a ton of time or as much time as I'd like, maybe someday. So these awesome, amazing tools and little tricks really help me get my creativity flowing and my crafts going. This is also a CRICUT transfer. They are silkscreen, and that is what we're going to be using for our reindeer ornaments. Now, you could absolutely do this with stickers or cut a stencil or cut vinyl with your CRICUT, or just grab some stickers, do it that way. But I am doing it this way. And CRICUT has this really beautiful, it's called Crimson, let's see, what is it called? I have it right here. Crimson, oh, Shimmer Crimson. And the shimmers that they have a really like beautiful, like it says, shimmery effect, almost like glitter, but without the mess of glitter. So I do use that a lot in these projects. You can even paint with it, which I do. And I kind of had to fumble a little bit to line these up the way I wanted. I was hoping I could do them all at the same time, but I did have to break it up just a bit to get the placement that I wanted. You know, some of the names were a little bit longer than others, and what have you. This just saves me a lot of time as far as picking out a font, spacing everything out, weeding. I mean, the weeding alone just takes, you know, and y'all know I love my CRICUT, and I use it in this video. I use it every day. So I'm not replacing my CRICUT, but sometimes when you can save yourself a few minutes, I'm gonna do it. A lot of this stuff isn't cheap or inexpensive, and I don't have like a big budget for crafting supplies. That isn't my life. So when I decide, you know, it's something I want to do or invest in, I gotta save up. Like, this isn't something I can just run out and place a quick order on a whim just because I saw a video I liked and thought, oh, I want to do that. You know, that isn't my life. So maybe someday, but not today. So I understand not wanting to run out and buy every little darn thing you see that someone else uses. This is something that I did think about for a long time. And on our red block, we are putting Rudolph, of course. And on Rudolph, on this block, we are using just the bright white chalk paste. The only time-consuming part about these CRICUT or any silkscreen transfers or stencils is that they do need to be given a good washing, like fairly quickly. You don't want to let them sit for very long. So that is one thing. But, you know, everything has its thing. So I'm using, I just showed you in my hand. These are mini eye hooks. I did order mine from Amazon, but I've had them for a long time. They come with a ton. You can buy them at Hobby Lobby, Home Depot. You can buy them anywhere you want. Most of these, all but one, were easy enough that I could just screw in by hand. Again, because I was just too darn lazy to go upstairs and go outside to my garage to grab a drill. But had I pre-drilled them, they may have gone in even easier. But they were just pretty simple, just to twist in with my fingers. So no big deal. This is another one of those transfers that we're going to put on our rolling pin. That right there is called a fuzzing cloth, and it's just to kind of de-stick the transfer. You don't want it to be too sticky. But I think my fuzzing cloth had something on it because I am watching myself pick stuff off the transfer. So I thought this would be really cute, like as a candy cane stripe, or you know, just a peppermint stripe of on the rolling pin. And I'm going to use the chalk paste again in that shimmer crimson. I don't think I used the best tool for this. Again, I am, you know, new to CRICUT and still kind of learning the tips and tricks and all the things to make your projects look a little more flawless. This transfer did not wrap all the way around the dowel, and so I did have to do this twice, which was part of the issue. But I also think I could have used a better tool to apply it, because that side looks great. And then I kind of gave it just a quick wash with a baby wash or a baby wipe. I didn't take it upstairs and actually wash it, and then I tried to line it back up on the other side, and I didn't line it up super great. I mean, in the end it looks super cute and it's totally fine, but I could have done a better job. And this is part of my editing issues. All of this you didn't even get to see. So sad. You didn't get to see me do the tray, which was like the star of the show, right? But anyways, moving on, it happens. That is the little tag we did. So cute with the heart. This little piece of wood was originally a piece of the wood planks or wood rectangles that you can buy at the dollar store. I had cut it down, I guess, at some point for whatever reason, and I just used it for this and painted it white. We are putting another one of the CRICUT silk screen stencils on here. I'm smoothing it out. They say the less bubbles you have, the better, right? Which makes sense. It's the same thing with using a stencil. And this one did not come out perfect. You'll see on like the Y in the holidays, but it did turn out pretty cute. Seems pretty simple. Just get your bubbles out, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm still working on it. One of these days I will have it down and all of the projects will be amazing. But I'm not always striving for perfection, as that is tough. These are some beads that I purchased from Amazon for the season. They have red, white, and like striped polka dots, these little candies. I was thinking of maybe applying or adhering on here. I ended up going a different route, but those beads came in like a janky, like cardboard, like rickety box, not even a good box. So I do need to find a container for them. This is another little thing that I used. I used this peppermint candy, also a candy cane, and another little candy shape that I molded out of resin. The mold came from IOD. It's, I don't even know the name of it. It came with like some gingerbreads, which I have also molded, and we'll be using some in some future projects. They are just so darn cute. And the resin only takes like minutes to set up. So simple and easy, but again, just kind of another like little splurge in life. And when I splurge on things that I save up for, and I want to use them, heck yeah, right? I'm not letting that stuff just sit around. So I'm using the COULTURE chalk paste in that shimmer crimson that we've been using, and I'm just taking a little tiny like detail brush, I guess. These are small shapes, obviously. And I'm just giving them a coat in that shimmer crimson paste and just kind of like testing it out, seeing if I'm going to like it. And yeah, I think it looks super cute. Now, this was the snowflake, also part of that set that I purchased. And it doesn't really go along with this theme, but I put it on the back of one of the other little signs for the tier tray that we already made, and mostly just because I wanted to do it and wanted to try it. It's on the back, you're not really even going to see it, and I do it in black, so it doesn't really go with anything. And I'm using, this time I'm trying to use one of the little squeegees to get the bubbles out, and it does seem to work better, so that might be the trick, rather than just using my fingers trying to smooth everything out. These little rubber squeegee things are pretty awesome. They're flexible and movable, so anyhow, this one does turn out really, really good, and I will definitely be using them again. That is the beauty of these. They are reusable as long as you take care of them. They say you can get up to a certain amount of uses dependent upon how well they're washed and cared for. I don't have a sink like in my basement that I can really use, so I do have to kind of like stop what I'm doing, go upstairs and wash it, and I don't always do that. I sometimes try to get a few things done, then go up and wash them. Put them in just a little bit of soapy water, give it a mild scrub. You know, I'm not wanting to damage anything, but I'm also not wanting that paste to just sit in there. That was the other little candy that I used the chalk paste on, and now is kind of like some of the fun part. I'm using some of that white or off-white rope, twine, what have you, and I'm going to pull out some of those beads, and I'm going to do just a small little garland. This tier tray is very much on the small scale as far as tier trays go, so I'm not trying to make this too big for it necessarily, so I'm just pulling out the beads that I want, and I'm just going to string them on. I use a couple of the red, the stripe, the white, and then those cute little candy shaped beads, and it is just so cute. I am anxious to use these in other projects. I think they're going to be so fun. They're so inexpensive, and I don't know, we've all painted beads, right? It can be done, sure. It's not hard, but kind of makes a mess. It's kind of a process. And now you can just buy the painted beads for almost just as inexpensive as you can the unpainted. So if you have a specific theme you're going for, why not? So that's what I did for that one. And now I am just going to glue on these little handles to our rolling pin. I can't remember if I already said, but these handles came from Hobby Lobby. They are unfinished wood. They are called Candle Cup. They are 1/2 inch hole. I'm not using them for that purpose. I don't even know what purpose they are intended for, but I use them all the time for handles, or sometimes I even use them on like risers as feet. They're just a really good thing to have around. I usually grab a pack each time I am at Hobby Lobby, which isn't very often. I'm also just using hot glue to adhere our little embellishments for this May Your Holidays Be Sweet sign. And I think the hot glue is just totally fine for this. I don't think you need super glue or wood glue. These molds made out of resin are just like so lightweight, and they're easy to adhere. And this isn't going to be out in the elements or anything like that. So that is what I did, and it turns out so dang cute. I love it. That's just gonna lean kind of up against another part of our tray. This one, I pulled out some of my favorite ribbon, and I'm almost out of it. I used it for this and for some of the reindeer tags. As the reindeer tags, I kind of went back and forth on which ribbon I wanted to use. You'll see I have a few different options that I go through, but I absolutely love this ribbon. It came from Hobby Lobby from last year. I don't have a lot left, so I may need to go get some more, but I just tied a quick little bow, glued that on, and I haven't purchased any Christmas greenery yet this year, nor have I gotten down all of my Christmas like stuff from last year. So I kind of grabbed what I could get to easily and making do. So I'm just cutting a few little sprigs off of this, and I'm going to glue this greenery on, just trimming it down to make it fit nice. And this one is probably one of my favorites because I love the mixture of the chalk paste and the white and the red and the ribbons and the greenery, all of it. It turns out so cute. These next two, you will see me start and not finish, unfortunately. Again, I had quite a few glitches during the last few days while I was working on these. But that was just a little cutting board. It is from Hobby Lobby originally. And originally it was just in plain wood. I painted it white at some point and didn't ever do anything with it. I bought a bunch of them. I want to say it probably was last year. So they're so cute. And, you know, once they're on that 50% off sale, they're less than $1, I think. So I had a bunch of those. That might have been my last, though. I might need to stock up. So those I just gave a base coat to. This is just a mug from the Dollar Tree. And it had a little bit of sticky stuff on it. I don't know what, but I washed it off. And then I showed you a transfer from one of the holiday books that IOD released this season. Again, another thing. I knew I would want some IOD transfers for the holiday. Number one, they're always beautiful and amazing, and I love them. But number two, they sell out quickly, and oftentimes they don't come back ever. So I think they're like limited release or something like that. So if you want them, you got to get them. So I knew several months in advance, and never even seeing them. I just knew that that was probably something I was going to want to purchase when they do release. So I will be doing a lot with these transfers. They're all amazing, and are you kidding me? Like, how easy is this? Like, we're talking like 2 minutes or less to make this a cute little mug. And I thought it would be really cute, like if I had some like cute straws or some little spoons or some candy canes even. Yeah, I had nothing. So there it sits. And truthfully, the mug didn't have a lot of clearance space because I ended up putting it at the bottom tier of the tiered tray, so it wouldn't have had a whole lot of room. But had I wanted to put it on the top, I could have fit some like cute things in there. I just wasn't prepared. I'm giving our little cutting board just a second coat in the red and finishing up the white one, doing the back and the other side. And this is going to kind of wrap these two projects up. Unfortunately, I do cut 2 decals with my CRICUT. You'll see me start weeding one, and that is kind of where my camera died. Or I think it ran out of memory on this one. And I'm not looking at it, and so I can't tell that it's happening. I don't know. It's something I need to figure out and work on and be better about. But either way, y'all have seen people weed and apply a vinyl decal. I grab my transfer tape and put them on. And that is how they all come out. You saw them at the beginning, but I'm just showing them again. They're so cute. I absolutely love this peppermint theme, the red and white candy cane theme. And it's going to go along with, I'm doing like a whole gingerbread theme at some point. And I am just so excited for the holidays. They are happy and fun and magical. They are magical, 100%. And that is how they all look together, how I arranged it. And thank y'all so much for hanging in here with me today and joining me, spending your time. And I hope that you received a little bit of inspiration, whether you use your own little handy skills or tools, your own handwriting, stickers, what have you. I just hope it did provide a little bit of inspiration and that you did enjoy spending your time with me. Again, thank you for the ladies that hosted What Would You Make This Month. Check out the playlist. There are many, many amazing creators that you will find plenty more inspiration. Thanks again. Have a great day.